Hi, this video is going to be a little art supply haul. Recently, I visited an art store in my city that sells Daniel Smith watercolors for a somewhat reasonable price. I still spent quite a lot of money for a few watercolor tubes and Arches watercolor paper pads, but oh well, sometimes you gotta spend a little on yourself. I never used Arches watercolor paper before, but I heard it's one of the best brands out there, so I wanted to try them. Recently I set up my new watercolor mixing palette, but I left two pans empty on purpose. I wanted to add two very specific green colors from Daniel Smith to my palette. The first is green gold. The second is green apatite genuine from Daniel Smith Primatech line. Then I also got transparent red oxide, which I wanted to try because it is one of my favorite reddish brown colors. I also bought Connect Red and Rose because the tube I used to set up this palette is empty. Finally, I got a Holbein tube in the color Shell Pink just to try it out. When getting new watercolors, I always swatch them first in a watercolor book I keep for swatches. I categorize the colors by brand and note down the name of the colors, pigment it's made of, if it's granulating, and brand specifics like the product number. So I added the three Daniel Smith colors, green apatite genuine, green gold, and transparent red oxide to my Daniel Smith page. Afterwards, I added the one Holbein color to the Holbein section of my swatch book and then added the two colors I implemented in my watercolor mixing palette to that page. And then I started sketching to try out my new colors. I looked for a portrait that has similar undertones to the colors I wanted to use, so greenish undertones. I don't know why, but especially when I'm in an art slump, buying new art supplies always inspires me to paint more and try out new things. I rarely use green in portrait paintings as I find it is a difficult color to use. But that is exactly the reason why I added 2 new green colors to my mixing palette, because I wanted to use more greens in my paintings. I'm pleasantly surprised how this little practice painting turned out. As I was painting late at night, I wasn't so focused and didn't spend as much time on details as I'd like to. But ultimately, I'm pleased with the result. The new colors complemented my palette perfectly, and I gotta say, the Arches watercolor paper is probably the best watercolor paper I ever worked with. I'm definitely looking forward to painting more with my now complete palette and the Arches paper. See you in the next video.